What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Jordan here. It's been a busy day. Got lots of stuff done. We got all 5 of the new Speed Champions built and ready to be placed. Don't know where we're going to place them yet. Gonna have to make some modifications to the shelf eventually, but that's not how I want to continue the day. Also did a bunch of buzzing around down here, tidied up these cabinets, better displayed the vintage Galaxy Explorer. That's pretty cool. Still need to go through that and make sure all the parts are there and just set it up how it's supposed to be. But still, looks better. There was nothing on those shelves before. It was like a cluttered mess, so I fixed that all up. And then I fixed up all these shelves over here as well. And as I was going through these shelves, I actually found something that could probably be integrated into the LEGO City with like a slight modification. Speaking of things like that, we also have this hidden side set. Need to modify that. I've been meaning to do that for so long. I want to like modularize it and put it somewhere near the boatyard. I just think that makes sense. It's like a diner, fish restaurant. There's also a custom train station in behind that services both a ground line and a raised line, but unfortunately right now we don't have a raised line. So I haven't really modified that yet. And there's a barn, which I think just needs to be parted out. I think we can build a better barn. But all of those things can be worked into the city as well. I could probably modify this train station and work it somewhere into the countryside, because right now there's no train stations on the countryside. So I need to put 1 or even 2 train stops somewhere, maybe not like a big station, but some sort of little platform that people can use to disembark the train. I think that makes sense. It's funny, I'm talking about that restaurant there and how we want to modify it, double it up and add it into the city. And something else that we took care of today was actually finishing the modification on Town Hall, and we placed that in the city. So it's funny that we just got that done, but now I just spotted another set that we want to do the exact same thing with, but granted, it's not going to be as grand and as big as that. But the module that I did find could actually be worked into the amusement park, because of course the other day we started working on the park. And when we started working on the park, we actually made these platform coverings here. And I made sure to make one of them modular style so that these pillars are built separate from each chunk of wall, so that if we want to modify this in the future, it's easy to disassemble and add things to it. And then after that, I placed these restaurants right here. Well, actually, sorry, it's not a restaurant, it's a Starbucks and a costume shop. But my intention is to build some stuff into the platform. And if you see my platform coverings in the past, I've had like train stations, both elevated and ground line, and there's like a Starbucks built into it. So I think this is a great way to conserve space in the park, and we can actually build, I'm thinking, food vendors that have just little facades underneath the platform, but into the platform coverings. I think that would be super cool. But I found one, which was a train station, and I wanted to see if we could modify that to make it work as a train station under this platform. But with that said, this line here is very far away, and I can't have it turn any closer so that it goes directly next to like the platform covering. So it's gonna have to be like hypothetical, I think, unless I put like a switch track here and make like a weird turn off and we bring it closer, and then there's this another switch track. But I think if it's just imaginary, it's not the end of the world, because it's going to be buried underneath wood anyway. But I think there should be another train station here, because we have one here, and it would be interesting to have another one on the end over there, which is pretty much like the furthest point away from this station. Here it is, everybody. It's a blast from the past. It is the platform covering train station. I knew we kept this around for some reason. I knew we could reuse this one for sure. It's got the hedges out front, the large arches leading into the train station. It's all nicely tiled off. I think this thing is just beauty. It used to be covering a huge elevation in the city. And now it's going to cover a much smaller elevation, I think, in the amusement park. Hopefully it fits underneath there. If not, we'll make some modifications to it. It's got all sorts of advertisements on the wall there. There's some benches trash and recycle, little electronic ticket stands, and also a Starbucks in the corner. Little coffee shop there. So I think it would be really neat to have this in the amusement park. The issue is that this is 2 base plates, and the modules that I have in the amusement park are 1.5 base plates. And when I line the coverings up like so, because obviously we would want them to be in line with one another, there's a 2 stud difference there. So I would have to change the Mills plate configuration, I'd have to change the height of it, and I would have to transplant this onto a new base plate and change the configuration of the amusement park. But you know what, sometimes you just need to just start building and it all works itself out in the end. I'm just gonna peel this right off this base plate here. Just wanted to let you know about my next Whatnot stream. Thank you so much, Whatnot, for sponsoring this video. It's going down on August 9th, which is a Saturday, starting at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. And during that stream, I'm gonna be giving away the Concorde jet for free. If you win the giveaway, I cover the international shipping. And I'm also gonna be auctioning off a bunch of cool minifigures and sets starting at $1. If you're not on Whatnot, you can join using my affiliate link, which is in the description below. And when you join using that link and make your first purchase on my stream, you're gonna get a free gift with your first purchase. But yeah, should be a lot of fun, and I appreciate it if you pop on by, help support the channel, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you there. All right, let's get to the breakdown here. Because this train station is off by 2 studs, I decided I'm going to cheat a bit, and I'm actually going to offset the entire base plate 2 studs. I can do that because it's going to be hidden underneath the platform, so it's all good. I just offset the base plate and filled it in with 2 studs of light gray. And now I need to adjust the height. So of course I've got my other platform covering there, just gonna make it the same height as that. But I also have to reduce the height of the train station walls because that needs to fit underneath that raised platform, which is shorter than the old platform covering that we had in the old LEGO City layout. So I'm actually going to increase the height of the arches. I think that makes more sense. And it's going to increase visibility within the train station. So once I increase the height of those arches, then I just need to top those arches with like the half arches, which match the other platform coverings. And then just build the wall up in behind those arches so that it matches the other coverings. So that's all done with 1x light gray brick, masonry brick, and then it's also topped with 2x brick. And then the very top layer is the 4x plate. So I just offset some of those plates using like 4x8, 4x4, sort of top the arches, just so it actually acts as a little extension of the platform that this is covering. And then of course I give that a face with masonry bricks and top that with tile. But just like that, I've taken something old that I think still looks pretty awesome and deserves to be in the LEGO City that we're working on today. And I've refurbished it or resized it so that it works in the setting that we currently have in the amusement park. And I think that's good because I've been holding on to this for quite some time and it's finally gonna make a reappearance in the LEGO City. Remember near the beginning of this video when I was talking about connecting the train track? I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna connect the train track. No, we're gonna connect the train track. In fact, look at the mess that I created here. Like, what the heck's going on? I made some modifications to the train track so that trains can actually pull up to the station. Why would I not make it that way? That doesn't make any sense at all. And in order to do that, I had to remove a giant mountain module there from the Ninjago area. I also had to move the roller coaster, which is currently on the ground there, and extract this entire platform because I had to come up with a unique track system with 2 switches. And I think it works out nicely. Also, this is going to give me the ability to park either the Disney train or the Hogwarts Express, because right now the amusement park line that goes around the amusement park only had 1 line. So technically you could only have 1 train on it. But now we actually have parking for a second train, which can either be the Hogwarts Express or the Disney train. I was experimenting with the position of the switch. Originally I had it right here after the tunnel, but then it had to do like this weird S curve. So I decided to put it over here, and now it just goes right past the station. I can't get it up close to the station just because this Disney train has these parts on the side, So that's pretty much as close as I can get it. But it should just switch right here and pass underneath and then switch back. And then eventually make its way over here through this station. So there we go. Now this train is serviced by 3 stations. The one that it just passed through, eventually the modified Disney train station that we'll have right here, and the one that we just finished installing right there. I do have to screw down my tabletops because there's some separation in the wood and it might derail right there. No, it made it. But that's pretty sweet. It makes sense to have multiple stations within the amusement park because technically the train that goes around Disneyland has multiple stations. So it's perfect. Now guests can take the train from over here to over there, and if they have a park ticket, they can access the park by boarding the train over here. So they can park here and make their way into the park, which is pretty sweet. Right on. Now I've got to reassemble everything here. Look at the giant module I had to remove right down there. And yeah, it's been a lot of trial and error and going up and under through the tables all around, but got it done and it's looking pretty fresh. I'm gonna save all that for tomorrow though, because it's been a long day of exciting Lego building here in the studio. Once again, we just did so much stuff, like town hall. But it's hot in here and I am sweating. I'm sweating. You know, it's a lot of exercise going underneath the table and everything. So I guess I'll fix all that up tomorrow. All right, I'm all charged up and refreshed. And the first thing I did this morning was built this little platform covering. So I decided to make this Mills plate here to fill in the gap. And this is actually 48 by 32 studs. And then just whipped up the platform covering, so now the platform coverings are done all the way along up to the train station, and also beyond the train station, right there. This is like a little mini hybrid platform covering, so it is a continuation of the Ninjago mountain and cave, or the foot of the mountain. And it's going to merge into that and then transition into platform covering and then the amusement park. Originally, I was thinking that we would have like some mountainous terrain in here, but I think it makes more sense just to have the platform coverings because they can very easily be modified like this one here to accommodate different food vendors. This Ninjago mountain here, it's looking pretty good. Like it's very Minecraft-ish at this point. I did texture a part of it over here when I originally built it. So eventually I need to go through here and texture all of this. Then I also need to fill in this corner. I actually extended this 1/4 of a base plate back. So now I need to fix all that rock work there and fill in this whole corner. In order to do that, I think I need to like destroy this and start bending it out sooner. So it's more of like a U shape. That's gonna prevent this from being so flat up here, although we can invert it if I so choose. And I sort of wanted this to be a steeper incline because this is going to be a mountain eventually. So we were sort of starting to get steep there, whereas over here is more like a hill. So it's good to have the 2 different varieties. But I do think in order to round this corner out a little bit more, I need to rebuild some of this rock work. But I think that's going to be future Jordan's problem. Before I continue anything, I want to, of course, put the platform back in, reinstall the rides, and put the Mills plates back there as well, just to fill this in so we can truly see what this is going to look like. And then I want to go around and just tack all of these base plates together using some 2x2 tiles. Maybe these ones could be merged. Sort of a weird shape here. I want to make sure that everything is modular though, in case we want to move things around. For example, this train station, if I wanted to move it over, it'd be very easy just to swap the position of this Mills plate and this Mills plate. So that's why I don't want to merge it all together and have these giant plates. I think it's easier to work in chunks like this. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, what other food vendors would you like to see in here? Maybe like a balloon stand, that would be really cool. Maybe a popcorn vendor, also pizza. I think it's just gonna be like a bunch of food vendors. I don't wanna make shops that go in too deep because you're not going to be able to see those details. If we're going to do shops, I'd prefer just to have little mini modular buildings like those ones over there that I relocated beside the castle. I think it should more so be like 16 stud depth, like max, little food vendors so you can actually see them. And then there's arches built over them just like these ones here. Or just like the Starbucks there in the train station. I think that would be super cool. But yeah, we've got to build like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe a half dozen food vendors for in there. That'd be super cool. But not just food vendors, like I was mentioning. We could do like balloon stands, maybe like just generic like information style stands or vendors that sell like park maps and umbrellas and things like that. Yeah, like all the things you see in Roller Coaster Tycoon, right? There you go. Okay, so this is all fixed up here. And the plates are tiled together, so it looks pretty good. And I think we're gonna do rock work along this edge here. I think that makes sense. But if you've been watching my videos, you know I'm out of dark gray brick right now. So that's another reason why I can't continue the rock work over there between the Ninjago mountain. All I have is 2x2, and I'm not building a mountain out of 2x2. Oh my gosh, it'd have to be one big solid unit. But I also went through and removed this gap here. There's a big gap like with the actual lumber, and it was throwing the trains off a bit. So I just put a metal fastener there and a metal fastener over there. So now the trains should glide pretty smoothly here. Let's, which train are we gonna park? Let's get the Disney train going, I guess. That can go around the main line. And then I will hit the switch and get the Hogwarts Express going. And that one will park at the station, if all goes well. First time trying this out. Oh, needs a little more juice. Get around the corner. There we go. And there goes the Disney train. Oh no, I forgot to hit the switch. Oh no. I wasn't quick enough. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, I better back that one up. It happens, okay. And then hit the switch. I wasn't quick enough. On my toes, okay. There we are. But that's beauty, because now we've got a parking spot for one of the trains going around the amusement park. Just right over there. And we can just like enjoy both trains now. We can sort of switch it up. I could technically both have them going on the main circuit at the same time, but it involves coordination, so let's not. But there we go. Nice little train update, and we managed to install the train station and finish the platform coverings, which will change in the future. To like restaurants and shops and all that jazz. It's gonna be pretty sweet. Everybody, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoyed this update. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Glad that we can continue working on the amusement park. Have a great day. Bye for now.